can't hear me because I was muted. Okay. In Instagram, I wasn't muted because, we didn't have that button, but here I was. So how does it get any better than that? Cool, huh? Okay. So I might need to restart again, guys. I'm sorry for you that were in Instagram and already listened to that. I was actually thanking you and not thanking you, wishing you an amazing Monday and an amazing, phenomenal week. And I was telling that my day started with an ESP session online with so many other BYCF facilitator and facilitated by Dr. Dainheer, the co-founder of Access Consciousness. And he's actually doing this session online starting on the 1st of October, and there are just 12 hours left to basically sign up. And I'm not doing promotion here. I'm just saying what he has been creating this morning with the session. After the session, I had such a different space of me. There was such a peace, such a joy, such a communion. And just right before the session, I basically, when we have I've been participating in so many sessions at Dr. Dainheer, live and online, during the last 8 years. And he always asks you, if you could change anything in this session, what would you change? And just right before the session, I was outside in my garden here. It's such a beautiful garden, has palms, seems to be in Bali, and then exotical flowers and native Australian trees, birds singing. And I was like, you know what? It's not enough. I desire to have a greater living. And then my asking, saying that wasn't enough, wasn't judging and not being grateful for what I have now or what I be now, but was this level of like, I really desire to ask for greater. How many times you guys like don't even dare to ask for greater because it seems that we are not, we are not grateful for what we have. What if it's not about that? Because when your life is not enough, you start, you start getting bored, you start all of that, you start trying to find, I say trying because to be upset of something. What if we can choose to change anything, even if there is no problem around? Because always when I notice as well, how much let's change something, and you look at what is the problem or what actually makes you upset or what doesn't work. And what if you actually can change anything for greater, even if there is no problem? I will tell you again. Shh, don't tell anyone. And by the way, if you are following me now in Facebook and in my personal profile and you are writing something, I can't actually see the comments. There is a setting on StreamYard. So if you want to comment that I can see them live, you need to go in my business page, Francesca Fiorentini, all attached. My beautiful media person that worked with me, Fabiola, she will fix it. Now I don't know how to do it. So that's it. Okay, guys. So we are day 5 of the 5 elements of intimacy. We have been talking about allowance. We've been talking about gratitude. We have been talking about honoring. Yesterday we talked about vulnerability. And what is the 5th? Is trust. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, it's really trust. So we have been looking at as well during the previous live about the 5 elements of intimacy. How can we use and be the 5 elements of intimacy with ourselves? And what is actually trust? Most of the time, people get the sense that trust is having blind faith on someone else. Let's say related to a relationship or to a friendship or to a partner relationship or also to your to your kids, for example. And trust is blind faith. What is actually trust? It's not blind faith, but trust is really like knowing that the other person will always choose what works the best for them, even if it doesn't include you. And what if this is nothing that's against you? When we were talking about honoring, right? Like, and we were exploring honoring, we'd look about what if you could honor yourself and the other, choosing what actually really works for you. Would you like to be treated in this way? Would you like that someone really is such an honoring of you and is so grateful of you as well, that will be just happy if you could choose anything that just create greater for you, even if it doesn't include the other person? And this is actually when it comes into trust, because we know, guys, we could have blind faith on someone. We could actually believe, and that the person always will be, will do things that will include me. But we know as well for ourselves that at the end, we always choose what creates the greatest for us. And that's how we have to like, no, we have to, but that's how creating your life and being you and expanding your life, it's everything is open here. We have, I had the door open. I'm like, who is that? So let's look at that. How many times when we consider trust, this blind faith, we get so upset because then when the other person at the end choose what works for them, and we are not including the computation, we get so annoyed, right? What if actually in this case we can choose something different? I always like to look at this with my daughter, because of course I have an amazing partner, and now I need to charge my phone. Sorry guys, it's not because I'm in both. Yeah. So with kids, right? And because I have an amazing partner there, we actually looking all the time to be the 5 elements of intimacy with ourselves and with each other. Now I have Jonas Benson calling me. No, Jonas, I'm busy now. And with kids, because how many, when you are a parent, right, or when you have such a level of caring for someone else, that you see where they can go, you see what they can create in their life, you know what they could achieve just if they choose it, right? And you know, like, you have the perception of then the capacity that they have and what they could create. And okay, you do. And what can you do with that? Nothing. Because if they don't choose it, you can't force anyone to be something or someone that they don't desire to be. So that's where trust come in on the game, and create such a level of peace and relaxation of, like, you know what? Okay, what if I could be in total allowance with that, and having the trust that they will choose always whatever whatever they desire, even if we are being considering that whatever they are choosing for us is not the greatest. And who are we to actually really judging that, right? Like, there is a level of superiority that most of the time we have on when we look at, the trust in others, the fact that what they should choose, what they should be. And for me, talking about the 5 elements of intimacy, as we have been done in the previous lives, and really, 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 as I say yesterday, please, what if you write them down somewhere and you be them with you first? Because if I have to look at trust of the as a 5 element of intimacy with myself, is the fact that trusting on me that I know, trusting on me that I will always get the awareness on something, that I always will get um, like, not always, but also the trust is also the trust that I know, and also the willingness to access to that knowing. That doesn't have to be a word sometimes, but it's also that the trust that you know, if you have to basically, it's if you trust in you, doubt cannot exist. So, and let's say, for instance, you are in a street, you are driving your car, and you know you have to turn right, even if that's not the path you have to take, but you know there is something that is telling you do it, and you do it. That's a trust, right? In this reality, we talk a lot about instinct, but animals have been moved through instinct. We, as infinite beings and humans, we actually function more from knowing than instinct. That's beyond it's beyond the animal capacity. So when I look at trust and, okay, shall I do that? Yeah, that's actually what I spend my life like. But then you don't have to judge you. You don't have to have the expectation. Oh, well, if I choose this, what would that be? Because then the magic start being interrupted. So what if you just follow your knowing? And I was talking just right before this live with amazing Amanda. And I'm like, look, how many times, like, okay, we desire, which we are, look, my daughter is looking at me, watching at me. So how many times, like, we embrace that trust, right? The trust of us. And just right after we embrace it, to honoring actually our knowing, we go straight away on the judgment if what we are choosing, it's actually greater. Oh, I should choose always something greater. Trusting you that you always choose something greater. But where and what have we defined as greater? What if everything is greater? As I say, and you have been hearing this for so many times, the Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, the definition of consciousness is actually that consciousness includes everything and judges nothing. What if another call, let me write him that I am in a Facebook live. He didn't get it. I am busy. See? Calling you in 5 minutes. You see, business doesn't wait. You probably have to tell me something very important, I'm sure. And no, go back. Yeah, that was the thing I want to really share with you guys. So what if we don't judge it, that we have to choose something greater? What is greater, right? So what if whatever you choose, they also, like, sometimes showed up not in a way that you thought, and sometimes it's not like the greatest. That's what was required for you to have the awareness and increase your knowing. Because every time you follow your knowing will be louder. All the whisper of consciousness and all the whispers, right, will be louder and louder and louder. And you actually, it will quite impossible to don't listen to them. You still can, but more you trust yourself, more your knowing, the confidence that you have in your knowing increase if you don't judge it. So that's it. I would say, truly, what if we can embrace constantly the 5 elements of intimacy and play with one of them? maybe more than, when you really like a tool and you really like something, just play with that and indulge in it and be there more than you haven't been so far. So one, the 5 elements of intimacy, have you, since we have been going through, right, in the last 5 calls, and how much they are all connecting to each other. You can't, hi Isaac, you can't, you can't have trust if you don't have allowance. You can't have allowance if you don't have trust and gratitude. You can't have honor if you don't have trust, allowance, and gratitude. And you can't have vulnerability if you don't have and you don't embrace and be honor, gratitude, allowance, and trust. They're all together. We actually, like, they're one actually takes into the other, and sometimes one pop the most, and depends on the situation. But how much, can we? Hello. So that's it. Hope you have fun, and sorry for a little bit of tech side at the beginning and few calls coming in. So what energy, space, and consciousness can we all be? To be, can we and our body be? To be the 5 elements of intimacy with ourselves for all the eternity we totally is. And I wish you a phenomenal week again. And what are the infinite possibilities here? And what else is really possible? Thank you guys, and enjoy. See you soon. Bye.